Welcome back to the Ticks and Trades channel. My name is Sam and I trade the E-mini S&P 500 futures. This is the weekly recap for the trading week of Monday, March 23 through Friday, March 27, 2026. We'll start here on the weekly chart of the SPY just to establish where price is. Then we'll move to the daily chart for a little more context. But the main point of this video is not to make some big prediction about where the market is heading next. The point is simpler than that. How did the Ticks and Trades strategy perform this past week? If a trader had the daily levels and the game plans each morning and traded each level by the rules, what would that have produced? That is what matters here. So first, this weekly chart. This past week's candle closed lower again, under the 50-period moving average. We talked about these indicators in previous recaps, so I won't belabor that discussion here again. I've just decided that I want to keep the focus of these weekly recaps on the performance of the futures trading strategy that we use here instead of the big picture forecast and speculation. The intraday trading performance is what matters to us. On this daily chart, you can see the same thing a little more clearly. Price stayed under pressure during the entire week under this 200-period moving average, and then by Friday, they had sold off pretty hard into the close. Now for us, though, that bigger picture is mostly just background noise because the daily levels are built for intraday futures trades. They are there to help us identify where price is likely to react during the day so we can take base hits. That is the whole idea. We're not trying to guess where the SPY will be next month. We're just trying to take clean bites out of the market during the regular session each day. So let's go to the tracking log. This is the playing by the rules log filtered to show just this past week, March 23 through March 27. 4 out of the 5 trading days were profitable, 1 was not. So the week came in at an 80% profit rate. You can see that metric right there. And now let's look at what that meant in actual performance. Wednesday was the only rough day. There were some base hits available, but the day included a TKO. That's a 20-point max loss limit that was hit, and that put the day behind the curve. And Thursday, we came in at 12 points, and they added 16 by the end of the week. So if a trader were trading the levels correctly with 2 ES contracts per level, by the end of Wednesday, they would have been still up by $400 on the week. That's an important point because even with Wednesday being a problem day, the first 3 trading days of the week still had the strategy ahead overall. Then Thursday and Friday expanded that lead. So by the close on Friday, the full week added $3,200 to the account. That's a 6.4% return just for the week. And really, that's the whole point of these recaps. We're not going to talk about whether the market looks scary or not speculate whether the SPY might bounce this coming week or even go lower. It's just this, that the daily levels work the majority of the time. An 80% win rate for the week. Even in a week where the broader market stayed under pressure, just as a reminder, here's the entire week, the strategy still produced. This strategy is not dependent on the big picture being bullish. Could go either direction. It is only dependent on price interacting with these levels during the day in a way that gives us tradable reactions. That's why the base hits matter so much. We'll go back to the tracking log, and this is the year to date. This is including January, February, and most of March so far. We have a couple more days for the month. And if we look at the entire year, we are at 52%. We've added $26,000 to our $50,000 starting balance, trading 2 contracts at each level each day and following the rules. This strategy keeps doing what it's supposed to do. Identify intraday opportunities, extract points, and stack those gains up over time. So ask yourself what you would do if you had these daily levels in the SPY to trade against every day in the E-mini futures. Do you think you would be making money? I certainly hope so. Well, that's it for this weekly recap. No fluff, no predictions, just the performance. If you want to follow along each day and trade these levels, the levels and the game plans are posted or published before the opening bell for paying subscribers, and each day's recap breaks down how the levels performed, and those are posted over here on this page here, the daily recaps page on the Ticks and Trades website. So be sure to check out this page on the website for those recaps if you want the details. Trade well this week, stay disciplined, and I'll talk to you again soon.